On this episode of the Best of Bias, you know what time it is. It's fantasy football season, NFL season. You know what we got to do. We talking NFL, we talking fantasy. We cutting all the other shit out. No pop culture this week, no cinema corner this week. We talking NFL, we talking fantasy. We had the Best of Bias Invitational 2024 draft this past weekend, Labor Day weekend. I hope you guys had a good Labor Day weekend. We'll get on into all that soon. But we got a lot to talk about this episode. I'm not gonna try to hold y'all too long, you know what I'm saying? I'll be saying that, but these episodes do be hella long. I promise y'all I'm gonna start chopping them up again and doing some what do you call them? The little pinpoint so you can kind of skip ahead and know what we're talking about if you want to skip ahead. But right now we're gonna get it popping. We've been waiting for a long time. Sports has been a little low during the summer. We had some cool things to talk about, cool things happening in the pop culture sphere and stuff like that. But it's time to get back into sports. Time for the sports equinox coming in like October, November. But NFL fantasy football is here right now. You know I do me some fantasy football. But what am I doing? I'm talking too much. I'm not even starting the pod yet. Where that theme song, we'll talk about it all when we get started. But where that theme song got us right there, right here. And welcome to the Best of Bias podcast. It's your boy Lydell Dinero. Yeah. Let's get to it.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. It's the best of bias.
What's up? Sorry about that. That was a long-winded intro. Sometimes I just kind of forget that we ain't even into the shit yet. Now I had to be ranting already, but welcome. It's the Best of Bias podcast. It's your boy, Lydell Dinero. He can be your hero, but he ain't no zero. But you know what I'm saying? We're here for another episode, episode 218 if you're nasty. Let's get right to it. We got NFL to talk about today, fantasy football to talk about today. I'm really excited to talk about it because we had a lot of stuff happening this past week, man. I've been highly anticipating doing my fantasy football draft. I kind of consider myself an aficionado in this stuff. Last year, you guys went through the roller coaster with me. I was doing bad, doing good, but I ended up winning that thing, you know what I'm saying? Winning my money league, Best of Bias Invitational 2023. It was 2023. Yeah, I won that one, $925. Same pricing is going to be on the line. I'm going to get that updated price breakdown for you, but I think it's $925, $250, and then third place gets their money back. But I'll talk all about it. But how y'all doing today? If you're new listeners, you already know how it goes. Well, man, if you're a new listener, you don't know how it goes. But if you're a new listener, welcome to the Best of Bias podcast, where we kind of just talk about a little bit of everything. We just bring every topic, bring it to the table, what everybody's talking about in pop culture sphere, sports sphere, political. Not really too much political, but if it's happening in the pop culture, in the public, in the spaces, we're going to talk about it because your bias, you bring it to the table, and we just kind of talk about it all, if that kind of makes sense. Usually we have guests on and stuff, and they bring their bias to the table too, and we kind of just talk it out, man. Everybody has an opinion, and we bring it all to the table. And we don't discriminate. We want everybody. We want everybody to come here and talk it out and see what everybody got to say. And usually that's what kind of happens. You know what I'm saying? For the family members that be here all the time, thank you for coming back for our 218th time. If you've been here since 2019, yeah, we've been doing this since there. Been rocking, trying to get this thing off the ground, and I thank you guys for click and play. I say there's millions of podcasts out there. You could have clicked on any one of those podcasts, but you chose here to spend a little bit of time with me, and I'm ever so grateful for that. Anytime you click the pod, even if you can only listen one time, I appreciate you stopping by and checking out what I have to say. You see what I'm rocking today? That Oregon green, that money green. Oregon didn't do too good week one. I do want to talk about that a little bit. I should talk about that a little bit. But firstly, I hope you guys had a great Labor Day. Hope you guys got to spend some time with your fam. I know work can be so fucking drastic, so draining. Sometimes you feel like you spend more time working than actually spending time with your family, spending time with yourself, doing things for yourself, you know, and hardly having time to unwind and do what you need to do to be yourself, you know. Hopefully this Labor Day, you use that extra day. Hopefully you weren't working. Sometimes I don't really understand why places are open during Labor Day. I know people have to do normal things like gas stations and maybe like grocery stores and things like that. Some places need to be open, but kind of feels like it defeats the purpose of Labor Day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like you're rewarding people by saying Happy Labor Day, but you're gonna work some more. We're gonna give you labor on Labor Day. It's kind of backwards. And a lot of places work their way around not having to pay people time and a half for working Labor Day. So I think that's kind of crazy. But anyways, however way it goes, hope you enjoyed the weekend. Hope you enjoyed having time to enjoy the sun. Hopefully it was sunny where you at because I know we're getting to this fall, winter, and that little bit of sun you had right now, that lot of bit of sun you had throughout the summer. I know there was a bunch of heat waves out there. You're gonna wish you had those back when it gets freezing cold outside. But me, I'm a fan of the holiday seasons and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you have something like an animal or a pet to cuddle up to keep you warm, you feel me? But man, hopefully this heat wave just kind of chills out soon and it's time to get right into these sports, these fall sports, you know what I'm saying? We've been waiting ever so long. So I got to get into it without further ado. But again, hope you guys were able to barbecue, have a good time, or spend some time with your family. Me personally, we had a fantasy football invitational draft. Of course, we had that draft this weekend. And man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I did some work, bro. I did some work. I did some work. Thank you again, guys, for coming through to the crib. You see that belt back there? That's what we playing for. Newly acquired fantasy football belt. If you win, you get that along with the $925. So, man, thank you guys. Sean, I'm gonna go through your names real quick just to shout you out. Sean, Derek, Kenny, Jason, both Sean's actually, Damon, John, Yancey, Derek. I said Derek probably like 7 times. So I apologize. Kyle, Deshaun, yeah, everybody just for popping up. And Kevin, Cam, thanks for popping up. Amanda, thanks for popping up. Everybody that showed up and had a good time with us, and everybody on Zoom, thank you for always doing this. This is like my third year for the actual Best of Bias Invitational, but like the 5th year for my fantasy football league. Again, we're 12 strong, and I appreciate that every year, man, because this fantasy football thing, it's not easy. I mean, people think that, okay, it's simply just some computer shit these guys or girls get together, these people get together and do, and it's just some simple thing, a computer game type shit. Nah, man, coordinating 12 people, setting rules, having a draft, and just having this like multiple months, like 3 or 4 month long league with a lot of money involved. It takes a lot as a commissioner, man. Just the gripes with people between the season or throughout the season. Just there's money on the line. This league, especially, we're $100 up. You know what it is. Everybody in our league knows. We've been progressing every year. I'm trying to get the pot bigger and bigger as people get braver and braver and try to take my belt from me. I mean, some people may have it for like 1 year. Last year, Tay won. He wasn't in the league this year, but he knew. He knew. No, not last year. The year before last, this one right here, Tay won. But me, I won last year. So this is the 3rd year for it. I'm trying to go back to back, or somebody may try to dethrone me, but it's gonna take a lot, man. Every year the draft, there's surprises. Me personally, this year I was really surprised with some stuff that went down, and I tried to stream it this year so everybody can kind of see it. One of these years I'm gonna get really good at it so I can kind of do a review thing. But this year is kind of hectic. Again, with everybody not being able to be in the building at the same time, it kind of was hard to keep everybody engaged and get somebody to commit to recording. It was really loud in there, so I wasn't able to bring you guys with me into the draft and kind of like ingratiate you guys like I said I was going to do, kind of building up to it. But again, it was fun. Everybody showed up. We had all 12 guys there, either in person or via Zoom. There were some cool picks. I'm going to go through some of the teams here, some of the surprises. I got the first pick in the draft. I don't know how that happened. I did a live draft reveal on Instagram a couple of days before just to give the guys some time to kind of strategize, especially just because some people were on Zoom and only half of us, six were in-house, six were on Zoom. So to wait for everybody to get there at different times and then have the people on Zoom then pick their numbers virtually was going to get kind of messy. So I just kind of picked it a couple of days early. If you guys were there, you saw me do it. It was interesting, man, because I thought it was hella cool, doing the stuff like I usually do. Hoping it was gonna work out for me. I was hoping for picks maybe 6 to maybe 10, kind of in that range. This year never really considered number 1 through 3. I felt like number 1 through 3 is just kind of like, okay, you get locked into certain picks and then you're just kind of be stuck there. McCaffrey, CD, or Tyreek. You kind of like grasping at straw. Everybody says CMC should go number 1, just because his utility and his usefulness and the points that he's been scoring. He's been years and years of him being the number 1 fantasy running back. Just 49ers run the ball with him a lot. Give him targets in the passing game, do all kind of stuff that keep him relevant for fantasy and keep him up top. And you can guarantee a big gain out of McCaffrey, a big touchdown, at least 2 touchdowns. It's just kind of crazy what stats the McCaffrey puts up. So having him at number 1 is kind of a given. And then CeeDee Lamb and Tyreek Hill is kind of whichever one you kind of prefer. That CeeDee Lamb's going to get all the targets, just being the only really offensive weapon that Dallas has on the squad. And then Tyreek, just his skill set, how good, fast he is, the separation he gets, how good he is with contestant catches, how good he can get into space, find that space, and just sit down there. He's just good at all those things. And then having a number 2 receiver like Waddle that's really fast, A-Chain, Mostert, that all can come out of the backfield, that have a lot of speed as well, just gives him more room to do whatever he wants to do and be versatile and just get open more. So it's whoever you wanted in those ranges. And after that is just kind of a pick 'em, whoever you prefer, whatever your taste was. We know there's only like 3 running backs first round that are kind of like worth taking, being, of course, CMC I just talked about, Bijan Robinson and Breece Hall. Breece Hall, Bijan not really making it out of top 6 just because, again, there's not really many RBs worth taking in the first round. Otherwise, you take a receiver, especially in PPR. Receivers are really valuable there. You get a point per catch. But then Breece Hall, Bijan, and CMC were also special because they can also, they run the ball, which puts the ball in their hands that way, and they catch the ball out of the backfield as well, which also gives them more PPR points, so they're worth kind of taking in the early first. But otherwise, you have all these receivers, your Jamar Chases of the world, Justin Jeffersons, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and guys like that are up there as well, PPR threats. And then back in first round, you have the Garrett Wilsons, AJ Browns, maybe Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, Puka Nacua kind of stuff. But it's kind of, again, it's your preference. But the beginning of the draft, 1, 2, 3 are kind of given. Anything after that, you can kind of just do whatever you want. People won't look kind of crazy at you as long as like somebody worth taking in the first round. I'm going through all the picks. All the guys are on, well, not all the guys, but some of the guys are on there kind of looking at their picks, kind of getting happy about their choices. And I'm noticing as I'm getting through everybody, I'm drawing myself last because, what I'm saying, I'll just take the last one, let everybody know what they got, just so they know I'm not cheating. I'll just take mine last and let everybody get their shit in. I'm noticing as everybody is going, okay, he got the 11th pick, he got the 6th pick, he got the 10th pick, he got the 5th pick. I'm like, okay, we're running out of numbers, and I haven't seen number 1 come out yet, and we're at the second to last. Second to last number gets 2. The person gets 2. And then I'm like, hold the fuck up. I better not get number 1. And obviously, if the math is mathing right, if y'all with me at this point in the drawings, the last ball in that thing, the ping pong ball selection lottery style that I did was number 1. I got the number 1 pick. I'm sitting here, I'm like, bro, why? Why do I get the number 1 pick? A couple of years ago, I think the first time I did a live draft or a live drawing for the draft, I got the number 1 pick too. So I had to start over. I was like, I can't do the number 1 pick. I don't want anybody to think I'm cheating. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this again. I didn't do it on live. I think I did a video and sent the video to everybody. But this year was live, so I didn't want anybody to think any shenanigans were going on. So I went ahead and did it fair and square. People saw I had at least 4 or 5 witnesses, and then my ball got the first one, bro. The first pick. That's the only thing I didn't prepare for. Weeks and weeks, even months of preparation of people that I wanted to take, people that I think I would take at the 6th spot, 7th spot, 8th spot, 9th spot. Had everything plotted out except for 1, 2, and 3, just because it's given and it's fucked up too, because you have to wait the whole first round, wait the whole second round, and you kind of just have to wait and see what's left over. So predicting what's going to be there is kind of tough for the 1, 2, and 3. So that's why I was like, I'm not even going to give it that kind of like thought. I'm just going to go ahead and do every other spot except for those. Then I'm stuck with the choice. Should I go CMC, CD, or Tyreek? CMC is like the given choice. I'm doing all this research. Everybody's like, CMC, you have to take him. If you don't take CMC, you're an idiot. He's a consensus #1 pick. Though he may be injured, Trent Williams still hasn't signed. He still should be taking #1. You just sit back and just know you have the best running back, one of the best players in fantasy on your team. Me, I'm like, I can't fuck with that. I just can't, because one, personally, I'm not a Niners hater, but me personally, I think this year I will see some regression from Christian McCaffrey, just because he's used so much. Because he's used so much, and I think they're also going to give Anthony Mason another chance to, a bigger role and a lot more of a chance to, get the ball a little bit. I know they'll use Debo coming out of the backfield a lot too. They paid Brandon Ayuk, so they're going to be using him in the passing game a lot more. So for Debo to get his touches, I'm sure Kyle Shanahan will use Debo in the backfield or just running the ball a lot more too. And also just for Christian McCaffrey being on the cover of Madden 25 this year, I kind of just feel like the Madden curse is real. Not even for him to get detrimentally injured, but even for Christian McCaffrey to get hurt. He already has a calf injury, and calves can lead to, Achilles or even like hamstring or something like that, or I'm saying calf strains or stuff like that. If he misses 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, if and not even the whole season, I know if he comes back, he'll still be ready to go and maybe give me some yards and shit like that, do shit for me. But if he's fucked up 2 or 3 weeks, and it's 2 or 3 weeks that I actually need to have, to completely have, and I take Christian McCaffrey and he's my best running back, and coming back on the 2-3 swing, I wasn't able to draft anybody that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? There's just too many risks that I didn't really want to take by taking the safe pick and going CMC. So I decided to be different. And I knew if I didn't take CMC and I take somebody unexpected, everybody would kind of be like, "Oh shit, what do I do next?" And I kind of kept it close to the vest, so I wouldn't really have people know where I was going, and I could shake up the draft. So ultimately, to make a long story less long, I went ahead and took CeeDee Lamb first overall. Let me find the picture of I have my whole squad, so I can just read out who I have on the squad to y'all, and y'all let me know if y'all messing with my squad. Let me see here where the draft board is. Boom, 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 boom. And let me make this shit here bigger, just so I can go through my team. So first I took CeeDee Lamb. Second, I took Nico Collins on the second round wraparound. I just feel like Nico Collins this year, he's actually going to do a lot. He balled out last year. CJ Stroud, Tank Dell balled out too. And people kind of just think with the addition of Stephon Diggs that his production is going to go down based from last year. And I mean, naturally, that's what people would assume, and it would make sense just because Stephon Diggs kind of like demands a big target share. And also he kind of left Minnesota and Buffalo with situations like towards being unhappy with the target share, unhappy with the quarterback, with the systems, and not just being, not being targeted as the fair receiver. I wouldn't want him to come to Houston with, the rise of DeMeco Ryans, with the rise of CJ Stroud, with the rise of the team in general, and them just, him just coming over there and just kind of fucking up the chemistry. But I'm hoping, just with Nico being his size, his speed, with his talent, he can just be CJ Stroud's kind of security blanket, and he just get a go-to target for the team, and him just get a whole bunch of points and just ball out for him. Tank Dell can still do his thing. Stephon Diggs can still do his thing, but I'm hoping that Nico Collins will be CJ Stroud's #1 target, and I wanted a piece of that offense, and just a piece of those points. A piece of a player that I feel like can be reliable for me week to week, because it can be like a set it and forget it type of person that I wouldn't have to really worry about. And then third round, I went with Rachaad White. Rachaad White is just one of my favorite running backs. He's on the Buccaneers, of course, so there's some favoritism there. I just kind of just felt like I need a running back. If I'm not going to go running back first or second round, I have to go for a running back that I don't think people will really jump for. Rachaad White ended as like one of the top pass catching running backs last year. I think this year it's going to be more of that. Baker Mayfield will just keep going to him as a safety valve. If he can't find Mike Evans down the field, Chris Godwin down the field, they'll dump it off to Rachaad White. And in space, he's able to do things that I feel like a lot of running backs aren't able to do, though he's not able to, last year wasn't really that effective between the tackles. I think this year, with the signing of our center and the shifting around of our offensive line, with Gadecki, his second year at right tackle, Tristan Wirfs signing that contract, I feel like they're going to be a lot more motivated, a lot more hungry. And I feel like Rachaad White's going to be able to do a lot more than expected. And then Bucky Irving is going to be able to do a lot as well coming out of the bed. But it's not about him right now. It's about Rachaad White. Rachaad White, I feel like is going to be able to do a lot what he did last year. And I feel like a lot of the same will happen last year. And I feel like there's not going to be as big of a regression as people really think. And then Trey McBride is people's sleeper of the year at tight end. Last year, he came on strong when Kyler Murray came back from his injury. He was more so of a receiving tight end coming out of, I forgot exactly where he came out of. I don't want to say Pitt, but something like that. But I remember the Buccaneers were looking at taking Trey McBride, but it was just a little too early for a tight end for them. Especially already having a tight end. He had other positions I need. I forgot what we took last year when we needed him, but when he got drafted. But this year with Kyler Murray, you have a full season with Kyler Murray. He'll be able to shine in that offense, I think, with Marvin Harrison out there. And Kyler Murray able to move around in the pocket, move around, creating space for Trey McBride to do his thing. I think it's possible, and a lot of people are saying it too, that Trey McBride can end up as a tight end number one. So me getting him, I feel like kind of helped me solidify myself at tight end. I didn't have to get him early. Again, you can see I got him in the 4th round. People like Travis Kelce and Sam Laporta, and even George Kittle got taken before. No, let me see. George Kittle got taken in the 4th, but Sam Laporta, Travis Kelce, and that's it actually that went before him. Mark Andrews went really late. It looks like Mark Andrews went in the 6th round somehow. My draft was crazy. There was some crazy stuff going on. I'll get into in a second, but I just feel like Trey McBride is going to be a really good pickup. Again, I had to also try to pair somebody with Kyler Murray when I did take him in the 7th round, but I'll get there. But I always want to try to stack a quarterback with their main receiver or one of their targets. That way, when they get the ball, you can guarantee production from both of them in a game. But after Trey McBride, I went Rashee Rice. After hearing he wasn't going to get suspended, I felt like having one of Patrick Mahomes' number 1 targets is going to kind of pay off. I know Xavier Worthy is still there. I know was coming there this year as a rookie. I know Travis Kelce is still there. I know Isaiah Pacheco is still the main running back, but I feel like with Rashee Rice coming on like he was last year, doing what he was doing last year, that connection getting stronger with Patrick Mahomes. Though he did get in that car accident, that DUI type of thing, and he may get suspended. They're saying that it may get held off until after this year. So I felt like being able to get him in the 5th round was a value. Although I feel like Jalen Waddle. We were doing a live draft, and I didn't have my list in front of me. I was kind of broadcasting on Zoom as well, trying to help the homies out as far as getting everything set up for them and having them know who everything was getting picked. So I wasn't keeping track of who was getting taken. I'm trying to see where Jalen Waddle got taken. It's absurd, bro. It was absurd what round Jalen Waddle got taken. And let me see here if I can find it. Let's see. Jalen Waddle. What? Yes, Jalen Waddle. He got taken in the 5th round, right? Because I had 2 picks there. I went CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins, and Rachaad White back to back on the turn. Then I went Trey McBride, Rashee White on the turn. I should have taken Trey McBride and Jalen Waddle. That would have been perfect. I just wasn't by the list and I wasn't able to see it. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. But I still feel like Rashee Rice is going to do his thing. Again, last year he was coming on strong, showing that connection, making plays every game. So I feel like this year with Patrick Mahomes, I just wanted a piece of that offense, especially as they try to go for that that three-peat. I feel like they're going to be able to do things, and having one of the best pieces on the team is kind of, especially if I play against a player that has Patrick Mahomes later in the season. I have Rashee Rice, their number one target, to get those points. So I was kind of thinking ahead that way. And then after that, I had to get another running back because I feel like in the sixth round, I'm a little too deep just to have Rashad White in my backfield. So I kind of felt like I wanted to take Javonte Williams. Um, a lot of the guys I had on my list were kind of taken already. The James Connors of the world, the Najee Harrises of the world. So when it came down to me picking Javonte, I just kind of felt like, okay, his first year coming in, he was doing really good on the Broncos, and then he tore his ACL. He came back last year, right? Almost right after the injury, and was able to pick up where he left off, making some plays out there for Russell Wilson. And then as they got a new team, Sean Payton, Bo Nix is coming on now. I think they're still believing in him. His ability to be a pass catching back again. That's kind of what I went for in my running backs. I wanted everybody to, especially in my running backs, to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield. It's PPR. So if I'm gonna have a guy that's in an offense that maybe be in a timeshare or maybe, isn't as good, I wanted him to be at least to be able to catch the ball and to be, you know, a better talent on the team. People like Chase McLaughlin, people say that Estime may come and take over as a starting running back, but I still believe in Javonte Williams because all the hype that he was drafted with, I think is still there. I think people move on a little too fast as far as the media goes and giving up on a player and just not believing. I think this year with the play calling and how on point and how on script Bo Nix is, I think he's going to be able to find Javonte in places that Russell Wilson wasn't. I think the offensive line may be a little bit better over there in Denver, and I think he'll be able to shine. And that's why I'm going to go with him for the first couple of weeks at least till Jonathan Brooks gets back off the pup, was who I was able to get as well, to stash off the Carolina Panthers. But I'll get there as well. Oh yeah. After Javonte, I got Kyler Murray because, again, I wanted to try to get one of the quarterbacks that can move. CeeDee Lamb, I did get first, so I was going to try to take Dak Prescott if possible. But, again, I wanted somebody with a little bit more scrambling upside. A lot of analysts that I did see kind of mentioned Kyler Murray as their sleeper and their guy of the year. Last year when he came back, he won a couple games for the Cardinals. I think they beat the 49ers. The Cardinals, I think they beat the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. I might be tripping, but I know they beat a couple of people they shouldn't, and they came on strong towards the end of the year. Again, with Marvin Harrison Jr., James Conner, Trey McBride, I think Kyler Murray has room to do a lot through the air. I think he can do a lot with his feet. And I think he's going to be healthy. And with the offense this year, they're going to probably be playing from behind a lot, so they have to put up a lot of points. So I thought grabbing him and stacking him with Trey McBride as well was smart to do. I just kind of like gave up on the Dak Prescott, but I could have got stacked Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb and tried to grab some more talent that went in the fifth round, like a Terry McLaurin, Xavier Worthy. Let's see what else went that round. Christian Kirk. But I still feel like getting Kyler Murray in the seventh round was a value. Kind of last of those guys that run the Jacksons, Allens, Anthony Richardsons of the world. Actually, Dak Prescott went the round before anyway, so I couldn't take him. So it's interesting. Somebody took Dak Prescott before they took Kyler Murray. I can't talk today. But yeah, I get it though. Last year, Dak Prescott did ball out. And again, Kyler Murray did come off an injury last year, and people kind of remember that more so than what he did towards the end of the season. And I'm thankful for that because I was able to get Kyler Murray in the seventh round. And then again, I took Jonathan Brooks. I just took him because, again, Rachaad White and Javonte Williams were my only running backs at the time. And I've been hearing a lot about Jonathan Brooks. I watched a lot of him at Texas, him getting drafted, but then he tore his ACL. So him coming back now, they put him on the PUP. He's going to be sitting on the bench for 4 weeks. So I'm able to draft him and put him on my IR spot. And when he comes back, he's supposed to be the starting running back for the Panthers, just due to his talent set and where they drafted him, and just the word on the street that he's supposed to be that starter. So for me to be able to stash him and just see what Rachaad White, Javonte Williams does, I did draft Zach Moss late as well. Just to see what he does over there in Cincinnati. I know him and Chase Brown are supposed to be sharing snaps, but I felt like if I hit on Zach Moss, I have Javonte, I know Rachaad White's going to be there, and then Jonathan Brooks comes back and is able to, be a nice starter alongside Rachaad White, and also be a set it and forget it guy, along with my two CeeDee Lamb and Nico to set those guys. Trey McBride should be good for the season, barring injury, knock on wood. And then Rashee Rice. My bench receivers, going further down, I had, after Brooks, I took Brian Thomas. I've heard a lot about Brian Thomas out there in Jacksonville. Another 6'3" guy, 6'2", 6'3" guy, speed. Should be a big target for Trevor Lawrence. Him and Christian Kirk are the guys out there in Jacksonville, but I'm hearing Brian Thomas is giving Christian Kirk a run for his money to be the number one guy. I'm excited to see that. So I'm just having him on my bench just in case he does hit. That can have another number one receiver that can rotate with Nico Collins, Rashee Rice. And then round after that, I took Rome Odunze. I took another rookie receiver, just because, again, I wanted a piece of one of those high-hitting offenses. The Bears are going to be good this year just because they got Caleb Williams, Keenan Allen, they got DJ Moore, and they drafted Rome Odunze as well in the first round. So having them, or second round, I believe. So having all that talent out there, you can't pass on Rome Odunze if he's sitting there in the 10th round, especially, it's a good value. If he hits this year, you can also just have him rotate with the other receivers I may have. And if there's a problem, if people don't have receivers, I can kind of like parlay those receivers into a good running back later in the season. So that's good to have that there. And I'm excited to see what Rome Odunze does. 11th round is when I drafted Zach Moss. 12th round, I drafted Justin Herbert because, I always got to have Justin on my team. He helped me win a championship last year, and that's my guy. But he hurt his foot this year, so people weren't really confident in him. So he slid a long way just because his running upside's kind of gone. But he's still going to be playing, and he still has high upside. So I don't know why his value dropped like that. So I have him stashed just in case Kyler Murray, is down a week, has a bad matchup, gets hurt or something like that. Right after that, I took Ladd McConkey because I went with that stack theory again. You take a quarterback, I want somebody to stack with them. Ladd McConkey from Georgia is supposed to be a good draft pick coming in. I feel like he's going to develop a rapport with Justin Herbert pretty fast, and he's going to be that number one receiver he goes to, and that PPR is going to be incredible. Josh Palmer right now is looking to be his number one receiver just for the familiarity of him being there. But I feel like once Ladd McConkey gets in there, and Jim Harbaugh gets it going, I think we're going to see a little something out of Ladd McConkey, so I'm going to have him stashed there as well. And then I took Green Bay's defense. I recently dropped them for Cincinnati. I'm going to be streaming defenses week to week probably. Cincinnati's playing New England. And I feel like New England's going to be pretty porous offensively. So I think we can get some, interceptions, some turnovers, and, just hold them to a few points and get a good amount of points on the defense. And then Chase McLaughlin. I said Chase McLaughlin, when I was talking about the running backs over there in Denver. It's not Chase McLaughlin, but McLaughlin's the last name. Chase McLaughlin is the kicker from Tampa Bay Buccaneers that I drafted to be my kicker, because if there's one thing I know, is Chase Money McLaughlin can make a goddamn field goal. And if Baker and anybody on our team, our offense is slowed down, having that guaranteed field goal was great too. And then I was able to move Jonathan Brooks to my bench, or to my IR, freeing up a spot on my bench. So I picked up Bucky Irving, who I forgot to pick up during the draft, just because, one, he went to Oregon, you already know, and we drafted him on the Buccaneers. So I need him as a handcuff just in case Rachaad White gets hurt. Bucky Irving is our second round guy. So I'm excited to see what he does if anything else to happen to Rachaad White. Hopefully nothing does happen, but I really do hope. Well, they use both, but I hope Bucky doesn't have too big of a role as far as fantasy goes. That'll limit Rachaad White selfishly, but I do want to see him thrive, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was my team. It was crazy though. Shouts out to the fellas, but some people did take some wild ass picks. Just to like give you guys a little rundown on what happened first round after I picked CeeDee Lamb. It went CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, the second guy didn't pick CMC because he's a Rams fan, so that's why CMC got skipped again. But it was CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, full PPR, 12-team full PPR, 6-point quarterback touchdown, blah blah blah. But that's the format we're going, just to give you guys more of an idea. Third pick McCaffrey, fourth pick Bijan, fifth pick Deshaun picked Amon-Ra St. Brown, seventh pick was Breece Hall. Or no, wait, let me see. Let me do that again. First pick, CeeDee Lamb, of course. Second pick, Tyreek Hill. Third pick, Christian McCaffrey. Bijan went fourth. Fifth, we got St. Brown. Sixth, we got Breece Hall. Seventh, we got Justin Jefferson. Eighth, they went AJ Brown. 9, Saquon Barkley. 10, Puka Nacua. 11 is where it got shaken up a lot. I don't know. Kevin, it was kind of a reach, but he said if he didn't get him now, he felt like he wasn't going to get him, so he pulled the trigger on this man. First round, Patrick Mahomes at pick 11. And that can shake it up. Hey, don't let me hold you. Don't let me hold you or talk anything bad about you, player. You do you, and whatever you feel like. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes last year, I feel like, and it got him a little further into the season. So if you want to take Patrick Mahomes first round, power to you. That just kind of frees up more people for everybody else in the rounds to come. But he did he took Brandon Ayuk on the turn. So yeah, it was kind of a crazy one too, but Kevin's gonna do his thing. Last year he did pick a little unorthodox and was able to come out pretty high in the league standings. He made the playoffs and made a little further in the playoffs too, I believe. But yeah, second round. Let me just give you guys a quick little rundown of second round. Cup. It went Cup second round, first pick second round. Ayuk, Harrison, Jonathan Taylor, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Travis Etienne, Kyren Williams, Josh Jacobs, Lamar Jackson, Jahmyr Gibbs, and I went Nico Collins. So it went a little weirder. I know some people are punching the air right now. Why did they take that person at that pick? Why did they Hey, man, people was doing their things. It's going to be an exciting year. I'm excited to see where everybody lands. Let me see here. I mean, it was really fun. Again, it was a little tough. Everybody likes to do it. I hope everybody likes to come likes to come through and draft live. I know it's a little more dysfunctional than the actual online draft where everything's kind of set up for you, have the time limit set up for you. And it's a little bit easier to navigate, but next year, I think we're gonna have to try to get everybody in person. I know this year stuff came up for people and they had to be via Zoom, and more power to you. And I don't fault you for that, but next year we're gonna have to do it all live because I want to get this out here for the people for the Best of Bias to hear. I want them to be able to see it, and I want to be able to relax. I feel like I was standing for like 3 or 4 hours straight, trying to keep everybody engaged, reviewing picks and stuff like thank you, Matt, for coming in to helping people or helping with the time limit, because if I would have to deal with that too, I know it would have got real dysfunctional. So I thank everybody for coming through again. Thank you for everybody for taking time out of your day to, that weren't there, that were somewhere else with their family, taking time to step aside and be a weirdo in the corner and talk about fictional football. I know your family members are like, what is this motherfucker doing? Why are they over there for so long? Why is it taking so long? Well, thank you for bearing with me. We got it done, and the season's gonna be fun, man. No complaining, no bitching to me about stuff. Again, the commissioner has overall say so. I will be overseeing trades. Nobody try to take advantage of each other, man. We're gonna do it fair and square. It's not that serious. It's serious, but it's not that serious. And Best of Bias listeners, I'm gonna do weekly updates, weekly reviews. If you were here last year, I tried to update everybody every weekly, just to let them know what the standings were in the league, just in case people were interested in jumping in next year. I did get a lot of people saying they wanted to jump in next year, just kind of seeing what we were doing on Instagram. But yeah, I'm gonna get people even more interested this year because I'm gonna keep everybody hyped. I'm the guy. I'm excited about this shit. I do a lot of research throughout the season. I pride myself on being a champion. I'll be winning championships. I'll be winning dough. I got places to go. I got vacations I want to take. I got Comic Cons to go to, Twitter cons to go to, stuff to pay for. So just give me my money. You feel me? It's on, y'all. So I'm really happy to have everybody back. I'm really happy to get this competition going. I'm really happy to review with you guys, Best of Bias listeners, because I know there's a lot of fantasy football people out there, a lot of fantasy sports. I'm sorry I don't do a lot more fantasy sports out there, but I really do fantasy football, so it's going to get added to the docket each week for the Best of Bias podcast, and I hope you're ready for it. Let me just go over the first week, just for the guys that may be listening. And guys, don't be scared to come here each week to review what's going on. Talk about the highest scores, maybe talk about losing. If you lost that week, you won that week. You got somebody you want to call out. You got some trade you want to propose live on the line. Don't be scared, bro. You know how to hop on. You know how to reach me. And I'm gonna ask every week. So don't be sitting there in the chat silent. And then after the league's over, be like, yeah, I wanted to be on the pod too. I just, nah. We ain't started yet. It's week 0. I'm calling you guys out now. You know what I'm saying? Put your nuts on the table. Pause. I know if you hear that, you probably won't want to be on the pod because we ain't putting nuts on the table. But you know what I mean? Nut up or shut up. You feel me? You're gonna lose anyway, but I want to hear how you feel about it as you getting your ass kicked by me each week. But week 1, we got me. My team name is CD's Hands because I drafted CD Lamb. I'm playing Kenny, Mr. Pope. Primetime Pope is his team name. The projections project him to win 122 to 118, but we'll see. We're gonna see, my guy. Then we got Jason, 56 double D's versus Derek's Jet Skis, which is Sean Gamble. Jason is predicted to win 122 to 108, so we're gonna see about that. Sean's magnificent championship bullshit. Whatever your team, make yourself a team name so I ain't gotta read that bullshit that Yahoo puts for you, brother. I know you a busy man. I know you Mr. VIP and everything, but it takes 5 seconds to change your Yahoo name, brother. Do that shit. But anyways, we got Sean's championship team versus Hot Boys, which is John. John is projected to win 123. And some reason I didn't write down what Sean's score is projected to be. Should have looked that up for you. I ain't gonna do you like that, Sean. I already talked shit about your team name, so I can't just leave you out here blank and not talk about what your projections is supposed to be. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's why your shit's 0 because you didn't set your lineup. God damn it! Yeah, you put you doing a strategy where you keep all your players on the bench so nobody knows what you about to take. That whole shit. They just gonna look at your players and predict who you gonna put in. I'm sure. Never mind. Just do you player. You do you player. And then we got Armpit, which is Derek, versus With Myself, which is Damon. Derek is projected to win 124 to 121. We got Drake 1, which is Yancey, versus Cam's Catering, which is Kev. Yancey is projected to win 120 to 109. We got K-Swag, which is Kyle, versus Shenanigans, which is Deshaun. Deshaun is projected to win 122 to 114. And those are the matchups for week 1, y'all. Fight hard, play hard, and let's see what's going on. And again, if you want to be in the draft, hit me up on the side. Next year, I'm sure there's people going to drop out. Next year, we may raise it to $100, $125, $150. It depends on how the fellas are feeling this year. It's kind of hard to get players in here to do it $100. So, you know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll see. We got people. We got a list of people that are ready to get down. So we'll see what happens this year. We got a group of guys that are all about the fantasy football, all about their teams. We got some 49ers fans, Rams fans, Saints fans, Buccaneers fans. You know what I mean? So it's all NFC, but we're going to get it together and we're going to see what it do. You know what I'm saying? Join weekly to get your fantasy news, NFL news, and that. Yeah, we're going to move right into NFL right now. And again, Oregon, I skipped over college football because, one, we had the draft during Oregon's game. I was trying to watch as much as possible while the draft was going on. We were playing Idaho. I know it didn't go the way we wanted to go. We won 24-14, only won by 10 points. This week or next week, I'll give you guys a more introspective view of the game as we play Boise State. Their running back is supposed to be super raw, so I'll try to give you guys a little bit more of a review next week. Dylan Gabriel, man, I'm still trying to get a grasp for. I didn't really see much of what was going on, but 24 points is not enough points. Also, I heard the linemen were hungover from partying before the game won. I don't think that's an excuse that we should be throwing out there. Even if it's true, it's not a good look. Even if it's something you guys made up, it's lazy and stupid. It's just adding fuel to the fire that Oregon shouldn't be ranked what they are, and the expectations of us winning a national championship are a farce. And I don't want any of that narrative to start now or anytime soon. So you guys get your shit together and we'll talk more Oregon football week 2, all right? or week 2. Sorry, Oregon. I know I'm wearing the jersey that I'm supposed to be representing, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest for this week 1. I saw highlights. I was in and out of the game, and I saw the end, but yeah, the draft was happening during, and for some reason, I don't. DirecTV is just pissing me off right now with their dispute with Disney and ESPN and all that shit. And Oregon being in the Big Ten network now, I don't have Big Ten network, so it was just a little mix up, a little razzle frazzle McDazzle week 1, but week 2, I got you. Don't even worry about that. Let me cope. We dropped down to number 10 from number 4 for that poorest performance. Poorest is the word of the day, obviously. And yeah, we getting into NFL. So NFL is back, everybody. You know what I do the NFL season. I try to help you guys out if you betting out there. I try to give you guys my advice on what I think is going to happen during the week's games. I go ahead and grab the spreads for every team and just let you guys know what's out there. And I give you guys my prediction of who's going to win there, just so you guys can just see what's going on. And then, of course, I talk about the Buccaneers when we get there. But let's just run through it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hold y'all. It's week 1. I'm recording this on a Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday. Therefore, we have our Thursday night football opening the season. We have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are at home, of course. They're dropping their banner. They're starting the season trying to go for a three-peat, trying to go back to back. Whew, everybody else in the league is going to be trying to stop the magnificent Patrick Mahomes from adding another trophy, another MVP trophy, another championship, Super Bowl MVP to his trophy case. Man, it's going to be hard, though. I feel it. He's just coming back this year with a reloaded offense. Last year, his weapons weren't the best, and he still was able to win the Super Bowl. This year, he comes back with a guy who ran the fastest 40 ever. Rashee Rice coming back off of one of his best seasons as a young player. Travis Kelce coming back after having one of his down years, but still being serviceable enough to be considered one of the top tight ends in the league. Isaiah Pacheco is coming back. The defense is getting stronger. Chris Jones is back. Lamar Jackson, though, on the other side, he's hungry. Last year, he got done dirty in the playoffs. He had a great season offensively, defensively for the Baltimore Ravens. Not him personally, but the Ravens themselves had a great season. And for them to go out the way they did with such high expectations, the growth of Lamar Jackson has been in question ever since he came into the league. People doubting that he can be a pocket quarterback, thinking that his growth was kind of like limited, and he wasn't going to be able to do a lot of the things that people expect quarterbacks that are great are able to do. But me personally, I'm a Lamar Jackson believer. I think he does learn from the previous seasons that he does play. I think he's only like 23, 24, so he's young. Already won 2 MVPs, 1 MVP last year. So I think the stuff that he's able to do, I think his cognitive ability is there. He's able to learn from mistakes, grow. And I think this year he has something to prove. And I know that the Chiefs lost the season opener last year to the Lions, I believe. I think it was Lions. So they don't always have to win their first game to have the belief that they can go out there and have a great season. I feel like for the Ravens, it's kind of like a must win in a way. Just for them to feel like you can beat Patrick Mahomes, for people to feel like they can beat, or people to feel like the Ravens can beat Patrick Mahomes, for the Ravens to feel like they can actually beat Patrick Mahomes and feel like they're actually have a chance of winning the Super Bowl, and it's not just a Patrick Mahomes Invitational, you know what I mean? So they are favored by 3. The Chiefs are, since they're at home. So basically, it's just 3 points are given for being at home. But I do think the Ravens come out on top this game. Again, I think the Ravens will have a showing, just showing that they belong. Though, you know what I'm saying, they got Derrick Henry this year. They got added to their weaponry. That's going to actually do a lot to help take some of the rushing prowess, or the rushing, having Lamar Jackson have to rush. Goal line wise, Derrick Henry can pound the ball. Receiving core, I think Zay Flowers is ready to take a step up off that mistake he made last year in the playoffs, the fumble. I think he's ready to show himself again and kind of recover and show the city of Baltimore that they can trust him. So I think they have a lot more to prove in this game, and I think they're going to play like it. Kansas City they're dropping a banner. There's a lot of excuses for them not to have to come out and play super hard or not want it as much as the Ravens, but I still think the Ravens are just going to come out and just want it more and win. First game on Sunday, we have the Packers versus Philadelphia. Philadelphia is at home, favored by 2.5 points. Everybody thinks that Jordan Love is the next coming of Jesus Christ. It sounds like they got him for MVP, him to make the Super Bowl, blah 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 blah. I think the Eagles, after last year and being embarrassed the way they were in the last couple of games of the season, losing to the Giants, us the Buccaneers whooping them the way we did, I feel like this year is the year they have to show that they are not a fluke. They added to their defense. They added Saquon Barkley. They got Jahan Dotson. So I think they're going to have a lot of weaponry. The defense is going to take another step. And I feel like Jalen Hurts is going to be healthy this year and be able to do some shit that everybody thinks he's not able to do. Again, this is going to be the year of redemption for a lot of those quarterbacks and a lot of show and prove for the quarterbacks out there. A lot of the older quarterbacks are kind of phasing out. So it's time for these younger quarterbacks to take the next step and just prove that they belong. You know what I mean? So I do got Philadelphia winning. I agree with that spread at 2.5. Jacksonville at Miami. Again, Miami is another one of those teams that did really well in the beginning of the season and kind of like stalled out towards the end. They have a lot to prove as well, not only in their division, but as a team that can be a top up there as people that could possibly win the championship with the Chiefs, with the Ravens, and make it a three-man show and not just it's either going to be the Ravens or the Chiefs, you know what I mean? Because I think the Bills are going to kind of significantly fall off after losing some of their weapons on offense and defense. So the Miami's favored by 3.5. I do think Miami's going to win. Pittsburgh at Atlanta. Atlanta's favored by 3. You know how I feel about those other NFC South teams. Even if they might win, I'm never going to go for them to win. So I'm picking Pittsburgh to win this game. Pittsburgh's defense is really good, and I feel like they're going to be able to hold Atlanta to a low-scoring game, though they have a good offensive line. Bijan Robinson's great. I'm not one of the people that think that just because they got Kirk Cousins, they're going to be great. He's coming off an Achilles, and if you have any doubt that, I always say this, but if you have any doubt that Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are going to be good, and you have all the faith in the world in Atlanta, I get Atlanta probably has a really easy schedule. They have one of the easiest schedules, but I feel like he's good. Aaron Rodgers is better than Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles too. Come on, bro. I get it. They got Simmons, they got Judon, they got some additions to their team, additions to the defense, offense, loading up to win now type shit. But the reigning champs in the NFC South last 3 years of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think ain't nothing gonna change. Ain't nothing gonna change. They're gonna take a little bit longer to gel. We have the same squad. We've been fucking around for a little bit. Yeah, same coaching. They got a new coach. It's just a lot going on for them. I feel like it's going to automatically be good right away. And I can't wait to see it crumble. So again, Pittsburgh, I got Pittsburgh. Minnesota at New York Giants. New York Giants are a mess. Minnesota are starting Sam Darnold, but I feel like they'll have enough with Justin Jefferson coming back and, Aaron Jones being added to Minnesota. They'll have enough to beat the Giants, even though they're only favored by 1.5. That's not much at all. They didn't even get the home juice, but I think Minnesota will be able to handle their business. We got Carolina versus the Saints. If I can pick a tie, I would. New Orleans is favored at home by 4 points, but personally, I am going to pick Carolina to win. Just because Carolina is the underdog, I'll fuck with Dave Canales a little bit just for 1 week. Just anybody that can give New Orleans a loss, I'm good about. Fuck the Saints. Fuck Cam Jordan. Derek Carr is probably a cool dude. Alvin Kamara is cool, but if I had to choose, I would just say the Saints lose every game. Sorry. Next, New England at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is favored by 8.5 points. Jamar Chase signed that, or didn't sign a contract, but he's back at practice. So I'm assuming that contract is coming soon. Hopefully it comes tomorrow because if he's practicing and not getting paid, I don't know why he's practicing if he ain't gonna play. But I think he will get paid either Thursday or Friday before the game starts. He'll have that couple of games of a couple of days of practice in, and then he'll be ready for game time. But I do pick Cincinnati over New England. New England doesn't really have any offensive weapons. They're starting Jacoby Brissett. And then other than Ramondre Stevenson, I don't think any other weapon on offense is going to do anything. Jalen Polk, I don't know. I'm not picking them. I got to see it first, but New England is probably going to lose. Tennessee at Chicago, Caleb Williams and company. I talked a little bit about them earlier. I think they're going to do well in their home opener. They're only favored by 4, but I think they are going to win that game. Tennessee and Will Levis. We'll see what happens with them. New receiver is Calvin Ridley. I don't know if DeAndre Hopkins is going to play. Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears. I think the Bears are going to do a little work. I think they're going to do a little something to show Caleb Williams going to show he belongs, and just like what he was doing in college, he's going to be able to do in the NFL. Let's see what else we got. We got Arizona Cardinals at the Buffalo Bills. This is my upset of the week. Again, we're talking about Kyler Murray in that offense during my segment over there in fantasy football. I just kind of feel like Kyler Murray and that offense is kind of being slept on. And I feel like that, again, that Bills, they lost a lot of people on their defense. That offense is going to take a step back, too. They're going to try to have to find their number one receiver. I know James Cook is going to cook, but he is still kind of a smaller guy. James Cook is going to cook. You see what I did there? But I feel like their offense is going to take a little step back. I don't know if Josh Allen's going to be doing the running he did last year, because if I was him, I'd try to preserve myself. Just because not having Stephon Diggs or Gabe Davis, they're going to have to try to find what they, their reliable source on offense. I know they have Dalton Kincaid, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not ready to say that the Bills are going to win every game like I was last year. Just knowing that they lost a lot of pieces and we haven't seen it yet. So if there's going to be any team that upsets anybody, I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to be able to do that. But the Bills are favored by 6.5 points. Houston at Indianapolis. Houston's favored by 3. Anthony Richardson's making his comeback. Jonathan Taylor. New pieces on the offense of the Chargers. Some people coming back too, third, fourth year, kind of try to prove themselves on that offense. But I still got Houston, CJ Stroud and company. I'm invested in some of the pieces there. Nico Collins, I've told you about that for fantasy. So I'll be watching them closely, and I think they're going to go ahead and win that game, come out for strong 1-0. Raiders versus the Chargers. You already know how I'm rocking here. I'm a Herbert guy. I'm thinking Jim Harbaugh is going to come out there and have that defense strong. The offensive line got stronger. They're going to run the ball a lot. And hopefully we see the coming out of Lad McConkey. So that'll be good for my fantasy as well. But me personally, I'm just really ready to see Justin Herbert succeed in the season with good coaching. I'm hoping that they get him right and help him get into the playoffs and do something raw. They were in the playoffs a couple of years ago and blew a lead to the Jags. I'm hoping this year, again, Jim Harbaugh can add some discipline. Those defensive weapons that they do have that have been had sitting there for a while that were underachieving can come out and do something great and help get Herbert over the hump. I'm ready to see him in the playoffs and him get the accolades and him put Oregon on a map and have them be a school that a successful player has gone to and hit that. I mean, I know there's a lot of successful Oregon players out there, but people try to diss us and have us be like, oh, there's no significant players out there right now from Oregon doing shit, blah, blah, blah. And Justin Herbert's next up. So I'm always going to hold the torch for him. I'm always going to support him. And I think they're going to win that game. Denver Broncos at Seattle. I got Denver winning this game. I'm being a homer again with Bo Nix getting the start there. Troy Franklin over there. I'm hoping, and I got Javonte Williams on my fantasy football team. So I'm hoping they can go out there and get a good little offense started. Patrick Surtain getting paid that big money, like $78 million guaranteed to being the highest paid corner ever paid. You know what I'm saying? I know his dad's hella proud of him for that. So hopefully that defense can take a step up as well and take care of business against the Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? People think the Seahawks are going to be good automatically. They don't have Pete Carroll anymore, I don't believe, right? So Geno Smith, we'll see what he does. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. It is a good receiving core over there. So if he can get them the ball, they're going to make some noise with Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet in the backfield. And that defense was coming on strong as well. So we'll see what happens there. But I still think Denver could possibly give them a run for their money. That's high. Now maybe high hopes, but I got them. Tampa Bay at home against Washington. I got Tampa Bay, of course. Everybody thinks Jaden Daniels is going to come out there and be able to will them to a victory. I know they remember us last year from having a lowly touted pass defense, but I feel like this year is going to be a little different. Hopefully Jamel Dean can stay healthy. Zach McCollum is what's his name, Zach? It might be Zion. Zion McCollum is starting at our other corner. We're hoping that he can stay healthy and he's really fast, 6'2", 6'1", 6'2" guy. Hopefully he can, replace Carlton Davis. I know Carlton Davis is a Super Bowl winning cornerback. He got traded over to the Lions, but he regularly got beat, you know what I'm saying? So he was one of the causes for us having the lowest rated passing defense. So having him gone and Zion McCollum taking that step up, getting Tyke Smith out of Alabama to be that nickel corner. Izzian from last year proved to be an undrafted rookie that showed out and was able to hold his own there as well. with having Jordan Whitehead back and Antoine Winfield being one of the highest paid, I mean, actually the highest paid safety in the league. I think that secondary can hold it together. Keep Daniels in the pocket. Yaya Diaby's coming back. JTS, Logan Hall, Vita Vea, Kalijah Cansey, Will Golston. Hopefully our pass rush can get to the quarterback, collapse that pocket, keep him inside the pocket, because we all know he does have speed and space. Hopefully Levante David can spy him. KJ Britt can keep him in the pocket. Again, maybe Tyke Smith. I know Antoine is really good at blitzing and keeping things in the box. So hopefully we can keep him, keep Terry McLaurin from getting behind us, shut down. We're good at stopping the run. So keeping Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler from going crazy, along as well as Jaden Daniels. I think we can win that game. We're only giving 3 at home, but I feel like our offense can take care of business. Again, our offensive line got better, so I think Rashad White, Bucky Irving will be able to do things in the run game. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, and Trey Palmer will all be able to get open, get in space, get yards against their corners. If Baker Mayfield can take care of the ball and disperse the ball well, with Liam Cohen, our new offensive coordinator, open up the playbook in the regular season, I think we'll be all right, and I think we'll win the game. Unpopular opinion, a lot of media heads like to hate on us and not give us a chance in the world, and it is a popular opinion out there amongst football fans to hate on the Buccaneers and only think we're good because of Tom Brady type shit. So I love people proving people wrong in my sports teams and my sports picks, especially with the Buccaneers, because it's always so lovely when we get our just due. You feel me? So I got the Buccaneers winning at home. Dallas at Cleveland. Cleveland is favored by 2.5. Is that what I'm seeing? I got Dallas though. Though they're kind of dysfunctional coming into the season, the contract disputes and all that stuff. Mike is still not paid. CD just got paid. Dak isn't paid. But I still feel like they have the requisite talent to take care of the Browns. The Browns are good though. But still, I don't know what Deshaun Watson has been in the last couple of years. Nothing has been proven as far as him being guaranteed a guy that can take down the mighty Dallas Cowboys. I think Dak Prescott and company takes care of business that game and wins that game. And then I guess the late night game, Sunday night, we got the Rams at Detroit. Detroit's favored by 3.5 at home. I do think the Rams are going to be good this year, but I think Detroit is actually going to carry on from last season's success and be comfortable at home, comfortable in the spotlight. And though the Rams will keep it close, I think the Detroit Lions will win by 3.5, or maybe even maybe 3. Monday Night Football, we got the Jets against the 49ers at Levi Stadium. 49ers favored by 4 points, coming back of Aaron Rodgers, and we'll actually get to see for the first time this full Jets team with Aaron Rodgers and see how they go against the fully paid and fully intact 49ers. Everybody back, ready to make another Super Bowl run and actually get it done this year. We're gonna see what happens, but we'll see. It's a tough challenge. The Jets have a good defense, who have a good quarterback to test that 49ers defense, and we'll see what happens, man. I do have the 49ers winning, though, but in a close game. So again, all my picks for this week, I'm going to go back over them for you. I got the Ravens, I got the Eagles, I got Miami, I got the Steelers, I got my Minnesota, Carolina, Cincinnati, the Bears at home, Arizona, Houston, the Chargers, the Broncos, the Bucks, the Cowboys, the Lions, and then the 49ers at home. So if you're trying to win yourself some money, I suggest you review all those picks very closely. Kind of give a little breakdown every week along with some fantasy picks, but I will be adding my pop culture and cinema corner into the list for the upcoming episodes. This episode, I just kind of wanted to give you fantasy football and NFL and a quick little rundown, and without adding everything else extra, just to give you guys a little something to chew on. I hope to get you guys stoked and ready for the football season. Thursday, we start fantasy football. We start NFL. We start. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into basketball in October and stuff. We got Russell Westbrook, so you'll hear a lot about us this year in the Denver Nuggets, but football is here, and I hope you guys are excited. And thank you guys for spending some time with me to go over those picks. Lastly, here again, TwitchCon coming up September 20th. You guys are going to be there. Hit me up. I will be there. Lydell Dinero 22. That's my name on Twitch. I'm trying to get it popping. Only 8 followers right now on Twitch, but I feel like just being new to it, going there and just checking out stuff, getting to know people and kind of like meeting people, bringing the podcast to a different platform will be beneficial in the long run. So I do kind of want to do that. It's from 20th to 23rd. If you guys will be there, look for your boy. I will be out there with the Best of Bias gear on. You already know what I look like from looking at my lovely face every week. Thank you again, AKA, for putting this together always. I appreciate you, brother, man. But yeah, I'm going to be out there. And then next week, speaking of AKA, the week after that, or a couple of weeks after that, we'll be in LA for Comic-Con. So if you see us out there, feel free to come up, hop on the pod. We're going to try to be interviewing some people, ask some questions about some cool stuff. So we're trying to get a lot of bonus content. You hear me saying that a lot now because that's what it's all about, man. Content. I want you guys to be able to find me everywhere and be able to reach me everywhere. You know what I mean? Again, Lydell _ or I think it's just Lydell Dinero 22 on Twitch. I'll be promoting that a lot more. I'll be online, just letting you guys know when I'm online playing COD 2K. I'm about to grab for sure 2K on Friday just so I can get started on that. And I'm getting streaming on that. I'll stream that. College football, 2K. We got everything, man. I'm just going to start getting that popping just to bring the podcast over to Twitch and Twitch over to the podcast. I'm just get everything ingratiated, man. Because we about everything over here, the Best of Bias Media. It's not only the pod, we on Twitch, we doing everything. And also, man, just a shout out, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is in theaters this weekend. Whenever you're listening to this, it's probably in theaters now. Go see that. Beetlejuice is one of my favorite movies. Shout out Michael Keaton. Shout out everybody, man. Shout out Alec Baldwin. Prayers out to him. He just got out of his situation, but still prayers out to the family. You know what I'm saying? That the death in the families and all that. I don't want to be insensitive, but he is in one of my favorite movies. And Beetlejuice, the second one is coming out this weekend. I know expectations may be a little lower because sequels and shit, you know how that goes, but just support that movie, you know what I'm saying? The youngins don't know nothing about Beetlejuice 1, come out in like the 1980s. I'm a 90s baby, so even for me seeing that movie, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of old school for me. So go check out number 1 right now. I think it's on HBO Max right now. You can find it anywhere. And then go see Beetlejuice in the movie theaters and the movie theater near you. But yeah, man, that's the end of the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed the fantasy football breakdown and the NFL breakdown. More content to come. I'll probably try to get some more content out to you maybe this weekend as well. Probably record a little something extra. I'll probably think up a little something to try to get on the pod. Not really much happening in pop culture right now, so it is kind of more so the startup of sports. So I just thought I'd get, and there's a bunch of fantasy drafts and NFL season, all that stuff is coming up. So I just thought I'd get this podcast out to you before it got too late. But thank you for rocking with your boy. You know where to find your boy. It's SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. If you're looking for me on the TikTok forums, it's Best of Bias Podcast. If you're looking for the Best of Bias Podcast anywhere else, it'll be Best of Bias on Instagram and then Best of Bias on YouTube. Thank you, AK, again, for always putting the videos together to make it accessible for the people that do listen on YouTube. Hit that bell on YouTube, like, subscribe, tell your friends. If you want to be on the pod, hit me up anywhere. You know where to find me on the Instagrams, on the Snapchats, and you know where to find me. I know a lot of people owe you guys episodes, and I got a lot of people that want to be on. It's just hard to get there, get the pods in during the week when I want to release them to you guys, like on Fridays or during the weekend. So I'm gonna be a little bit more. If you know me by now, I'm a lot more sporadic with the releases, especially now. Just me being that one-man team trying to record and get everything popping by myself. But hey, we're gonna have more content. We're gonna keep it going for you. No matter what day it is, the content's gonna keep on coming. It's gonna keep on popping. The Best of Bias will never stop. But again, thank you for being here today. Thank you for listening today. And good luck to all your sports teams. Good luck to your fantasy team. Good luck to your football team. Good luck to your college team. I can't forget to shout out college as well, because we still here. We're in the natty too. So we'll be here all season, weekly reviews and everything you choose, whatever, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We always here. No, I'm just playing. But it's the Best of Bias Podcast. Where that theme song at? It's right here. Thank y'all. Love y'all. See y'all next time. Season 3, baby. Let's go.
It's the best of Bias. You need the earful. You should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of Bias. Your Best of Bias. Yeah.